Hello everybody, lately I've been on a Rome 2 binge and I wanted to share with you the mod that I've been playing. It's called Eras of Rome Re Publica and it's actually just coming up on 2 years old now. Now despite its age, it's fully compatible with the latest patch and it works pretty much perfect as it's facilitated a whole campaign for me with no issues. You will need the DLC Hannibal at the Gates in order to play it. Now Eras of Rome Re Publica is essentially a scenario overhaul mod, sending us back to 509 BC when the Italian peninsula was a series of small city-states of mixed cultures and ideologies. There are 7 playable factions: Roma, for those of you who wish to relive history and recreate the Roman Republic, the Veii, the richest of the Etruscan cities, the Samnites, for those who want to rewrite history, the Campani, famous for their elite cavalry, Syracuse, for those that believe Italy belongs to the Greeks, the Umbri, which are a kind of barbarian Italian nation, and the Carthaginian Empire for those who want to maintain the largest known empire in the Mediterranean. So on my playthrough I chose the Samnites, which meant I was bordering 6 different factions, so you've got to be careful and make some allies. The campaign plays out quite normally, as you'd expect, with not much change in the way of buildings or progression. I can't quite explain why, but the technology tree did feel really good to go down. I didn't feel like there were many filler or unnecessary technologies, and there was always something I was really looking forward to. And when I built up some cash, I could purchase diplomacy technologies to give myself a boost with other factions. Interestingly, playing as the Italian faction means that in the late game you can obtain the Manipular Legion, a sort of what-if scenario for the Italians, giving you units such as Histati, Triarii and Principes. This is the endgame technology though, and even 100 turns in I still haven't obtained it, just tested it out in custom battle. As well as this, artillery is not obtainable until near the end because of the first recorded use of siege artillery wasn't until the late 5th century BC, which does make you play battles a little bit differently. That being said, the Tortoise siege piece is available not too far in, and that can just level walls pretty quickly. So as I progressed through my campaign, I built up some allies and I eventually took down Roma, sealing the southern half of the Italian peninsula for myself. Syracuse had become an ally of mine, and every time Carthage were getting the better of them, I sent them a little bit of money to keep them afloat, which to my surprise actually worked, and they were able to at one point take Carthage. Those two factions seemed to have a perfectly balanced back and forward, and I enjoyed keeping my eye on it over the course of 50 turns. Syracuse would always ask me to join in, but I had other smaller wars to deal with in the north, so I never really wanted to split my forces up too much. Eventually I ended up using agents to cause a rebellion in Corsica and Sardinia, pushing out the Carthaginians and allowing me to move in and kill Eulalia, a small faction that had one town there. So in my experience, the campaign plays out in an extremely fun way. Unfortunately there are no mission objectives, so I just set my own ones and planned mini wars and invasions, trying to keep allies afloat and make enough money to persuade them to become client states. More of an issue with the game than this particular mod is the agents. While you can't have too many, I do feel like agents are still way too powerful. It doesn't take long to get them to be 10 stars, training armies to gold standards and inciting rebellions in 2 turns. The mod is 4 turns per year, so agents don't really die very often, so I'd recommend adding another mod that reduces their use. That's really it for the campaign. As for the battles, they play pretty well also, and the units look great. There's something very satisfying about seeing Romans using Hoplon shields for their swordsmen and fielding hoplites in the early game. Fielding my own Samnite warriors and Italian noble cavalry looked and just felt right. The Campanian cavalry I obtained around turn 100 are absolute beasts that just cannot be broken, and there's also new Carthaginian units and textures and some changes to Syracuse also. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this mod. It's a short video, but I wanted to mention it as I feel it's been largely glanced over for no real reason. It's a good scenario mod and represents the Italian wars pretty well in my opinion, and I had a lot of fun playing it. I used a music mod as well to give myself some extra immersion, and I recommend doing the same if you plan on playing it. That's all from me. If you got any mods you want me to check out for any of the previous historical games, or for Warhammer, let me know and I'll get around to it when I can. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.